2, 3, and 4, and 5, and a 6, and you're going live. You're live, and welcome to another day in the Milky Way. And here we are tonight with my co-host, Isby. Thank you for coming, and we are going to be doing a great book, King Og, the Lost Book of King Og. Welcome. Thanks, Isby. What do you got going on tonight?
Awesome night.
Yes, awesome night. Awesome night. I brought the popcorn and chips. Actually, the chips and dip here. Here we go. I'm all ready for this one tonight. It's a good one. There we go. We're going to do King Og. We got people will be piling in here in a little bit. We got Deborah Sloan's in the house.
And we're shrimp over here.
The what?
Shrimp.
Yeah, well, you're in Florida. You got all kinds of good stuff down there. Do you get a lot of fresh seafood?
We can, but I don't.
You're not a seafood guy, huh?
Well, I love lobster and crabs.
Oh, really? Nice. Yeah, who doesn't love lobster? Oh man. So what have you been up to this week? While everybody's coming on in, we got Loretta Igma and we got Linda Brooks, who's going to be on the show here sooner or later. Thank you, Linda Brooks. I got to send you another letter. She is awesome. She could talk about anything. She's got things going on I never imagined.
Yeah, she is. She's an awesome goddess. We're getting all these beautiful goddesses in.
Absolutely. Anyway, so this week been treating you pretty good. Spring's on this way. Of course, you're down in Florida there where it's warm all the time. Must be nice. I haven't even seen a robin yet, believe it or not. So anyway, I got the book pulled up and let's see, I gotta make sure it's all working. Yeah, I got that working. There we go. Anyway, let everybody know what we got going on this week. This Saturday, we got Grandpa Brian coming on, and we're going to talk more about Reiki. This book right here, Essential Reiki. I hope y'all got your copy. The what?
That's what he suggested that I buy.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's a really good book. But I've been reading that Ryder Lee, the Ivory Tower thing, something, A Psychotic Mind and the Ivory Tower.
Okay, hold on here. I'm looking for something I'm missing.
Well, don't worry, I got it under control.
Where'd my book go? When I was studying today.
Remember, folks, we're live. We're playing it off the cuff. It's a great day in the neighborhood. I'm waiting for spring. It's getting to be time to plant. Getting ready to get the rototiller out there. Oh. What do you got? Magical Cash Book. That's right. You got that thing. Why don't you tell everybody a little bit about that 1040 something, whatever you got with the text? Yeah, that's it. Why don't you explain that a little bit and tell them what you're working on there?
I'm hearing that, hearing from a lot, seeing a lot of people claiming that they're buying homes and cars and, stuff that they need on the 1040A.
Uh-huh.
And, it's out of a trust, it's SQ Trust. That's French, out of our Social Security. When we're born, they actually put like $10 million in a trust for us. And then incorporate us and then trade us on the stock market.
Yeah. Yes, they do. Linda Brooks says it's a 1099A And Loretta Igno says, I am hearing music. You got music playing? I hear the music
A
too.
little bit.
A little bit. Okay,
I
maybe
always got a little bit of music playing.
that sounds like some 932 or 432.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Sublegio.
Yeah. You'll have to get yourself one of the oopsie. Drop something there. Where did I put that? I had this up here, right where I could reach it. You know, when you got too much stuff, you got too much stuff.
Well, yeah, I got that problem too. I
Oh, you
ain't
do?
got enough room for everything I got. I'm sitting there thinking if I get an RV motorhome, I'm not gonna have room for my shit.
You gotta thin down a little bit. And you
Oh
hear
yeah.
that?
What, that's 432, isn't it?
Yeah, yes, it is. So what I do when I have pains and aches, I'll hit this thing, like my shoulder will hurt once in a while, and I'll put it on my shoulder. And if I do that, it'll feel better after a while.
Cool. I like that.
You'll have to get yourself one of those. This is a neat little thing. It's a tuning fork set to 432. It was only like under $10. Yeah, that's my 432, Linda Brooks. There you go. It's yeah. I don't know if that music is drowning your voice out or not. Linda says, I hear musical like electronical chimes. You might want to have to turn that off, eh? Not that I need you to turn it off, but maybe, I don't know if it's drowning things out or not. You know, because we're going to need voices. Okay. Does wonders, makes pain disappear. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's amazing what frequency does. If you haven't, if you guys haven't did the frequency thing, check out last Saturday's show where Max Vision and Zigzagzilla came on, and we talked all about frequency and how it could heal the body, what it's for, what it's all about. It was a great show, so check that out. Okay, we're gonna get right into this because we got lots of stuff going on. So here we go. Remember Lost Book of King Og, the only written words of the Raphaim, written by Damien. And where did we leave off? We were almost at page, I think 6, wasn't it? Og speaks supplication of Baal.
Something like that.
Yeah.
6, 7.
Yeah, I think this was the last page I had. We finished straight up into here. Because I thought this was a chapter, remember? Okay.
Got mine ready.
You got yours? I got mine. Oh, mine's still up in the thing here. You know, I got several copies. When I get all done, I'm going to give somebody a copy because I got 2. Yeah. So I run off a lot of pages so we can read quite a ways tonight. Okay, we're going to do the same thing as we did last time. Will that work for you?
It works for me.
Okay, you want to start or do you want me to start?
All right, I can start.
You go right ahead.
All right. Og speaks of supplication to Baal of the earth. Baal of the earth has land with greenery and healthy vegetation, fruits and nuts. Baal of the earth also saw to Og's success in the 100,000 giant war. Baal, mountains to climb. When the waters covered the earth, Baal guided my hands as I drew Nimrod's yellowing entrails from the quaking, misshapen loin. Yeah. Nephilim body.
Absolutely. Okay,
Oh,
screaming.
man, that just sounds brutal.
It does. He just loves to pull the entrails from them. Okay, scream to Baal of the earth. All Raphaim, rejoice and scream and beg for the undoing of the unspoken mistake. Declare Baal's power aspects. Again, I say scream and rejoice, be it war or contention. That ball that keeps our fields fertile, who keeps the people of the land, ball of the earth of fertility in your remind ball of the extension ascribed to Baal, all of you Rephaim, ascribe to Baal the land's fertility and your strength. You're up. 41.
Smaller self, child offerings, and come before Baal, scream and bleed in the fertility awarded to us for our worship, the fertility that will prolong the Rephaim. Tremble before the all-powerful Baal, before his established land of fertility and that cannot be moved. Before the altar, we and bleed with the, it don't say nothing there. We wait the extension as we scream, come Lord Baal, in unison with our wands.
Wounds. Okay, extension. Ball of the earth will extend the Rephaim in his time, nor by Baal's will can the extension take place. We await Baal. We will not falter, even if he does not deliver. Go ahead. 45.
Sorry about that. The smaller self prophecies have prophesied the following that applies to the land. I am Baal, your God, who delivered you from Nimrod in the 100,000 giant war. I am Baal of the earth, who will provide the extension to the Rephaim. Because of this, you will bleed yourself before no other gods. I do not honor the circumcision. It is good for Rephaim not to know the smaller selves. You will not cut your members for any of the other insect-sized gods that demand it. May the destruction of my enemies buried in their punishment until the end of time. Worship me, and I, Baal, will extend your power and give you, I don't know, consider this, a time is coming when you will all worship Baal Haman. He is coming in storm, and every eye will see him, even those that practice circumcision. Let the enemies tremble. Let the earth shake. The great Baal of the Rephaim stands above the insect-sized gods. Filth is the land of his heritage. Whoa.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
I didn't see that little 50.
Okay. All will subscribe, penance and worship, blood sacrifices, fertility. I will empower. Do not tire Baal's power. As you see the lush country, as your crops, as Kavor and Abel, the Farshan and Paraside, several served as temple stewards, speaking through the smoke from the darkened sacrificial fire. The worship must frenzy and gash with knives and lances. You're up. 51.
Baal, your delivers the promised extension of the Rephaim proclaim the power of Baal on a fertile mountain. Continue, I will extend you.
Okay.
Good,
Chapter. So apparently they're praying to God. Baal is their god, and he does not honor circumcision. He's all against that. Anyway, interesting. It's all about the circumcision business.
Well, you know, you can't hardly blame him. You know.
Yeah.
I still started all that crap.
And then the question is why? What's so important about circumcision versus non-circumcision? Is it what's the deal? I don't get it. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Okay, here we go.
What did he say? What does he say? He said something about that. Anybody that gets circumcised has been dedicated to Nimrod or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, nobody asked me.
Yeah, well, and that exactly, but maybe, and so Nimrod might have been a guy before all of them, and then apparently they had a war. Okay, here we go. Maybe we'll find out here. Chapter 2, the Moon Child. It is thought, gnashing teeth, that I give you full vent of my bitterness. My soul is downcast and disturbed. My history has become a fire corrupting my whole life unto the extinction of the Rephaim. I tell this terrible. Oh, okay. I see the 3. Go ahead.
I tell this terrible history to Anak, the keeper of the bodies before Baal, for it is transcription. My wrath tends to evil words, anger, wrath, malice, and obscene talk of all fall from my lips as I speak. I still hold the mock worshiping Nimrod responsible for the death of the Moon Child, the full portion of my hatred.
Nimrod, that brutish, circumcised hater of reproof, the one who has planted and watered the gnarled living thicket. That is my loathing. I tell no lie. I loved not my brother, whom I have seen, yet love Baal of the earth, whom I have not seen. Although Nimrod, my brother, no longer walks the land, my swelling wrath will still grow and grows for him in the darkness. The tale, oh, go ahead. That's number 6. You're up.
The tale of Nimrod and his quest to carve the members of the giants of his army and the rest of the land forevermore with his circumcision. Does it not follow these very words transcribed by Anak? Oh man. Okay, the tale of Nimrod and his circumcision. In the time before the unspoken mistake, when Og's land heralded Nimrod's accomplishments, Nimrod was called the Great Hunter and a killer of large giants and things.
While on the field of battle, Nimrod did sustain a loin injury, and he engaged the one-eyed Rephaim named Arg in warfare. That very same one-eyed Arg who fought alongside Og. Turn the page.
I got an issue here.
Oh, you go ahead. I'm working on this. 100,000 giant war. When Nimrod wounded Arg's neck with the driver and chaser, Arg's unconscious body fell to the ground with his outstretched hands, still grasping his sword. The sword's blade sliced upward at Nimrod's loins, cutting open his foreskin. The skin of Nimrod's wounded member hung as a testimony to all. He then escaped the field of battle. Arg's giant army soon heard of the wound and knew to search the loins of the dead Nephilim on the field of battle for the circumcision of Nimrod.
Arg was the one that circumcised or got him started.
Yeah, so he was in a battle with this Arg guy, and he got wounded in his private parts, and he got himself circumcised by accident. Go figure.
And then he turned around and made everybody else start getting circumcised, and we're still getting circumcised.
Yeah, so
I mean, I'm like, what the heck? Is he these gods that the Hebrews worship?
I don't know. I think this is so long ago. It might have I'm not sure. Maybe the Raphaim and the Nephilim taught people as they were dying out about the different gods, and they just got renamed. So this gives us all something to look at.
And then also, I was watching. I've been watching some other vids on giants and stuff and history, you know, on the Anunnaki and stuff. And I'm wondering if there was Anunnaki somewhere in this picture here.
Well, I can pull some of them up in a little while. We can talk about that towards the end. I just want to say hi to a few people who popped in. We got Divine Empress. We got Big Al, who's what's up? What's up? Anyway, we got Divine Empress who's in the house, and Linda Brooks is listening and making some lunches, and Max G late again. Sorry, don't worry, Max. There was other people late too. You're not the only one, and that's about it. So anyway,
yeah,
thank you all for coming. I think Truth Seeker is out there too. Yeah, Truth Seeker.
We got a house full of awesome gods and beautiful goddesses.
There you go. Anyway, no worries. Big Al, you got cards, and we'll try to flash some up here at the end of the show. And if you want to get in on the next second deck that Al is making, you get your name and a number to him, and it'll be great. We'll put you on. It costs $0 to be on the deck of cards. $0.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, if you don't have a deck of cards yet, you just go right ahead and get one. Or get on there. Send Al an email. And where are we? Where'd you finish off at? Here.
Okay. I was gonna ask Al if I was still on the 3 hearts.
Oh, we'll find out. Al will send us a message. I'll get a hold of him.
Max G's in the house. Divine Empress. Yes. Deborah Sloan.
Yep. Okay.
Loretta. Enigma. I was just talking to her tonight.
Well, good deal.
Happy to see you, sister. Happy to see all you beautiful goddesses.
Oh, there's David Castle and Nina Fetty's in the house. Yay! I haven't seen her in a while. How's the kid doing? She's got a little kid, probably growing up by now, getting pretty good size. Anyway, okay, I'm going to start out here. Nimrod knew his own vulnerability. He then returned to his army and reclined in his tent, meaning he laid down in his tent. He took the flint of a mountaintop and finished his own circumcision and bound his loins in a sackcloth. You're up. 12.
Nimrod then had the braids of his head shorn. He shaved his beard and his eyebrows and anointed his head with oil. His cup was then filled with wine. He reclined and considered. after a short spell, he rose and sacrificed many smaller selves and beseeched Mot for a delay in the battle.
Nimrod then took the mountaintop flint and circumcised 1,000 Nephilim of his army. Those that refused were cut down by an axe, chaser and driver, and their Nephilim bodies were tied to trees for the beasts, as tradition states.
Mot caused the bowel sickness to afflict Arg's army. Ooh, what did he do? Give him wow.
Diarrhea,
Worms?
probably.
Yeah. Nimrod's army rested and healed for 5 days until Arg's army recovered.
Well,
yeah, he must have gave him salmonella or something.
Well, at least they had grace, between armies for something like that. No use of fighting a weak and sickened army. You want them healthy and strong to fight them. Well, see, and here's the thing. Look at he was circumcised, and he just said, I'm just going to go out and make sure everybody else looks like. I guess that's one of those things, that, hey, if I shave my head and I'm the king, everybody's going to shave their head too. Well, and Mot, if you all don't know, Mot is another god. So the Raphaim are praying to Baal, and the Nephilim is praying to Mot. So that's how that goes. So
I thought they were both the same.
No, Mot's a different god. There's all
No,
kinds
I mean
of
the Rephaim.
Yeah, the Raphaim is one group of giants, and the Nephilim is another group of giants.
Okay, so there are two races.
Yes.
Or no, because Nimrod and Og are brothers.
But apparently there's two different races. I don't know. Maybe they weren't like blood brothers. Maybe I think I have to reread it part, but I don't think they were blood brothers. They were brothers, but I don't know if they were blood brothers. That's a good question. Okay. And Nimrod said, with the flint of the mountaintop, heaps upon heaps, I have circumcised 1,000 men, and is not the valley where Nimrod circumcised the Nephilim still called the valley of the first foreskins to this day? You're up.
On 16?
Yeah, 16.
On the 6th day, Nimrod and his army then went to war with no lower garments. Oh, they was swinging free, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or loin covers. The armies of Arg did not know which Nephilim was Nimrod in the battle. One-eyed Arg's army, ooh, the one-eyed ones. You see these pictures of these giants with one eye. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, maybe they got their eye poked out. Who knows? It could have been a tradition. Poke one eye out, become like us.
Yeah. Gazed upon the compromised members of Nimrod's army and were befuddled and dumbfounded by them. Nimrod's giants then attacked with clubs, driver and chaser, fists, bolters, and trees, and slew them all but one-eyed Arg. I just wonder if he was that and his bodyguards who escaped the forest and the mountains. I just wonder if he's not that giant, that one-eyed giant that's pictured,
Yeah, maybe.
I've seen pictures of. I've seen this picture of this one-eyed giant. He's got an eye right here in the middle of his head.
Yeah, I've seen that too. So I think what it is he got he got circumcised, you know, and everybody knew it in Arg's army, and they were out to kill him because he's the leader. You know, you kill the leader off, and then the army surrenders, kind of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so he had his whole army get circumcised, so nobody could tell it was him. Who was him?
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
And they all went bottomless.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
So it was like a bunch of lookalikes.
Just junk swinging free.
I don't know how you. Yeah, I would be dumbfounded too. When Nimrod became ruler of his portion of the great land, he then demanded circumcision throughout all of his Nephilim kingdom. I, Og, circumcised no males of my land. The Rephaim kept their members intact.
Wow.
20, you're up.
After Nimrod's mandated circumcision, the 7-year famine began. For Baal of the earth was displeased. The famine from Baal of the earth consumed the land. The very earth itself was dry and stiff with wounds at this time. Then came the false prophecy from the Nephilim and Rephaim priest of Baal in both lands. The false prophecy led to the unspoken mistake and to our extinction.
I have hated everything Nimrod has loved, as I have hated his circumcised Nephilim kingdom. If I hated my circumcised brother and became a murderer of circumcised giants because of my hatred, so be it. I have a place in the afterlife. Baal and Mot have considered my oaths. Between them and seen to it, Baal of the earth has damned Nimrod's name to eternally mean fecal minded and simple. Nimrod's name shall be associated with the mad desire to maim genitals forever.
Excuse me. For Nimrod grew like a young giant plant, like a root out of dry ground. He had form, majesty, that we should all look at him, and beauty that we should desire him. He was companioned by many, still despised and reject him.
He became a giant of sorrows, acquainted with grief. He was despised, and we esteemed him not. Circumcised Nimrod, the celebrated forefather of the tower of the smaller selves. It is the fecal-bellied, half-membered Nimrod who killed us all. 26.
Well, I'm trying to think of, what is that, Satan or Lucifer that does this shit too?
I don't know. I don't think so. See, but there's clues in this story. Listen to this. So at that time when the big war was, right? He got circumcised. And right after that, there was 7 years of drought and famine. That's a cycle. That's telling me that's an earth cycle. Okay. And Nimrod, he was a big guy. Apparently he was a big giant. And he was championed by many. Okay. Which means that many men or many other giants tried to take over his spot, but he and people despised him and rejected him. Hey, just look at some of these leaders. It's just a common thing. Anyway, then it goes on. He says, the celebrated forefather of the tower of the smaller selves. Well, you know what the tower was? Celebrated tower. What's the celebrated tower?
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. I just can't bring the name up to my mind.
Babel, Tower of Babel.
Babel, yeah.
Yes, the Tower of Babel. That's what he's talking. That's what he's talking about. The celebrated tower. This was back then. See, so see how it all fits together.
Yeah.
Then he says, my haters and has become greater in the love I know. Okay, you're up. Number 26. Finish this out. You got it?
I think my book got turned.
Desert Rose is in the house again. Oh, great to see
Hi,
you.
Desert.
And Julie Stowe, much love and favor to you too. Oh, I'm glad to see Desert Rose in the house. I hadn't seen her in a while.
Okay, I found it here, number 26. During the season, sparse of food, I found a large colony of smaller cells.
Oh, no, you got the wrong page. You got 26. This is 26, page 13.
Oh, that's on second. This is on the other one.
Yeah.
All right, I'm sorry.
Yeah, get back to the page. Either that or read it off the screen, one or the other.
My hatred for Nimrod has become greater than any love I have known. I, Og, have exceedingly and cruelly hated Nimrod. I, Og, have since extricated him from existence. I have since gathered and eaten all of Nimrod's food stores, and I've eaten many of his smaller cells. Baal of the earth empowered I, Og, to rid the land of Nimrod. Baal of the earth despised the circumcision, and to whom did the powerful arm of Baal of the earth reveal itself to I, Og. I despise it.
Oh, yeah. Are the tales of how I avenged the earth of the circumcised Nephilim for the loss of the moon child and more are they not told in this very chapter, transcribed by Ankh? Yeah, so there we go. Og tells his brief history. All right. Well, yeah. See, that's the thing. Baal of the earth is empowered to rid the land of Nimrod. So he believes that Baal, the god Baal, told him to get rid of Nimrod.
Yeah.
And because he despises circumcision. And also Baal of the earth. So Baal of the earth revealed himself to Og and told him this.
Well, I'm wondering if he had some kind of psychic connection to him or spiritual connection to Baal.
I think he did.
Because I don't think Baal come down as a man. Or did he?
No. It never says that he came down. He just says he revealed himself. So I don't know what he looks like. He could have been anything.
Okay.
Okay.
You see me looking around, everybody. I'm sorry, but I got two 32-inch screens and a 24-inch screen beside me. So I'm looking from one to the other.
Well, don't worry. They ain't seeing you looking at anything because we got this thing up. So if you were looking at it on YouTube, you're up in this little bitty picture about the size of a little bitty square up in the corner. So anyway, the most important part is when you're doing these is to face forward kind of and look at the screen like you're looking at everybody else and like you're talking right at them. It took me a long time to figure that out. And then
I had to rearrange my screens because I had one over here to this side
Yeah.
over
Yeah, I
here.
remember you were always turned like this. And we got to see half your side of your face, but not the whole face.
Yeah. Well, I turned around and slid the 232 inches down that way
Yeah.
and then put that smaller one over here.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay, you want to start this one out?
Okay. Lesta, Queen of the Rephaim, and Iog were bred from the spoils of a Rephaim, born of worship to Baal of the moon, born in the temple and reared in the high places. Iog trained in both the priesthood of Baal and with the chaser and driver war arts, Lesta become a sorceress before Baal of the moon and a transcriber of words.
Others born in the temple and trained in the high places at the time were Sean, Og, my brother, Oya, Hi, my way, Mary, Lothat, the possessed, and Grion, the heavy. Now here's the before we go on. See, okay, so if you all didn't hear all that, he was born to worship Baal of the moon, born in the temple. He was during a procreation harvest. Another, so that's meaning that they picked two people who were the best and bred them together like animals.
Oh,
and
man.
then Iog trained in both the priesthood and of Baal and so basically he trained in the art, like you were talking about, the arts of mystics, to become higher learning. So he went to the higher learning and he learned how to fight with the chaser and driver. If you don't know what the chaser and driver is, the chaser is a big ball with spikes on it, I think, and the driver is a big club. And he learned the war arts. And if Lessa became a sorceress, we all know that a sorceress would be another one who knows of the magical arts, which is more of knowledge, the unknown, unseen knowledge that we all strive for. Okay, and of course, apparently, there was more in the that were made in the temple. And trained in the high places. High places mean higher learning. And he had a brother, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 brothers. Yeah, my brother, Chingad. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 other brothers. Go figure. Okay, you're up. Number 32.
Before the 100,000 giant war, before the confused circumcision, and before the unspoken mistake, there was a time of lush success. All the earth caused the waters to flow and for crops to flourish in all of the great land at the time. The great land was alive. The colors, sounds, and connections of being in the land were bright and different. The feed animals were sleek and fat. The herds of lizard, elephant, and rhinoceros prospered. Wine flowed, fruit, nuts, and honey were plentiful. Peace ruled all land. Now, you hear this lizard.
Yeah, he's talking about dinosaurs.
Yeah, I know. I mean, we don't have lizards in our diet anymore.
No, they all died. That's what he was saying, is that after that famine, they all died. The land shrunk up, the waters stopped flowing, and everybody died. But here it says all the animals, the land was prosperous, and the land was alive. It was green and lush. Can you imagine? And tropical with dinosaurs and elephants and rhinoceros and flowers and wine and fruit and honey and everything was, when they talk about wine, fruit, and honey, they're talking about food was just plentiful. Okay, so and peace, when you got lots of food. This is a word to everybody out there. When you got lots of food and you got lots of prosperity, things are peaceful. It's when there's no prosperity and there's little to eat that people, cause war and things like that. So
what's happening today?
Yeah. So through this book, we can relate. So here we go.
Yeah, it's exactly that. What's happening today. They're doing this shit on purpose because they know what it will cause us.
Exactly. So here, number 34. This answers one of those questions we were talking about. Number 34. There were no smaller selves in that time. The season, ball of the earth, multiplied the nation of the Rephaim. This was during the foreign war between Nimrod and Tarsha, the giant. Giant's army, Tarsha, the giant, who later fought on Og's behalf in the 100,000 giant war. And so there you go. So there was other wars before that, but apparently not that one. Okay, the birth of Ogalus.
Ogius.
Yeah, I'll go with Ogius. That sounds good. August or August. O-G-I-A-S. August. I don't know.
August.
Yeah, whatever. You're up. 36.
Okay. In our 300th year, the panic of childbirth seized my wife, Lista. Now that's a different name there now.
Lesta. It sounds like Swedish. Lesta. Yeah. Sounds like Swedish or something,
Uh-huh. After she had become heavy with the offspring, she then bore me, August, the inheritor, after traveling through great pain and labor, the birthing crippled Lesta, bedridden for 10 years. Wow.
Yeah, that's a long time to be bedridden, I tell you. Woo! Imagine spending.
I'm just wondering how big that baby, how big he was, because he was a giant.
It was a giant baby. He probably came out walking and talking, man.
I was watching this show on Living Giants.
Yeah.
The other day, and there's this woman. She's like 9 foot tall, or something like that, standing there beside these 2 6 foot tall guys, and they look like children beside her.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there thinking, now that's where that pillow come from.
Yeah. All right. 37. I took to connecting with August. His breath became my breath. He became a good prince in the eyes of the kingdom. That's his son. And all who surrounded him. I taught him the ways, ball of the moon, the managing of my kingdom, the ways of the giant lizards, the ways of the elephants and the rhinos, the ways of the floating wild beast. And I imagine he's talking birds.
Oh.
Or, dinosaurs that flew, one or the other.
Wow.
You were up. 38.
And then I taught August the ways of connection. Hold on, Yeesh. Through battle and through acquaintance, he was connected from. Got it blowed up just a little bit too high. There you go, right there.
Okay.
Now I gotta find it back. Ball of the moon, sun, ground, or earth, and the host of the skies, to the animals, creeping things, and floating wild beasts. August was connected. With favor, I favored him, and with love, I loved him. I entered covenant with August because I loved him as my own soul. I then gave him the skin of the Leviathan.
And now Leviathan, I think that was in the Bible or somewhere I read, was a great big beast. It was a big, terrible beast.
Yeah, there was obviously dragons that existed that were, I mean, must have been hundreds of miles long.
Yeah, they were huge. Okay, then number 40. I then gave him hammered armor. I trained him with the driver and chaser. August, the son of Og, proved himself great in war before both Baal and the Rephaim. Because of Augeas' strong ways of connection, and Grodotikwa soon chose him. Augeas then became the herdsman of the beast and lizard between the groves of sycamore figs. So there you go. So apparently they raised the beast and the lizards.
Yep.
Number 42, you're up.
When the 100,000 Giant War began, Augeas, the inheritor, was a leader over many powerful giants in war. Those with the floating beast, drivers and chasers, and more, is not the tale of the 100,000 Giant War, as told to Anak, the keeper of the bodies of Onzal, the slayer of the smaller cells before Baal, not transcribed in this very book.
Okay, number 44, the unspoken mistake. In the 4th year of the drought, the frost by night, the false Rephaim and the Nephilim priest of Baal of the earth, moon and sun, and all the host of heaven led the giants to the unspoken mistake. Queen Lessa was henceforth known through both kingdoms as the last of the giant females. Okay, you're up, 46.
We should not have trusted the prophets of Baal, whose forecast and divining became as those who turn the wise backwards and render the knowledgeable foolish. I already have spoken of their death judgment, and I see people doing that now.
Oh yeah, this is true. Exactly. People love prophets and forecasting things, I tell you, and without knowledge, that's just hearsay. Well, anyway, okay. In this season, the smaller cells were found in both lands. From that time forth, only the smaller cell females were trained to serve in the temples as priestesses and sorceresses. The proper use of smaller cells were as slaves, temple servants, and food for the giants. Smaller self men indeed became food for the giants, and their male offspring were indeed burnt in sacrifice to Baal of the earth in the hills above the kingdom of Og. Huh. So there you go. Okay, 49, you're up.
Okay, can you pull that up just a little bit, run it?
Yeah, I can.
All right, thank you. Nimrod's kingdom chose to circumcise the males of the smaller cells. He allowed the smaller cells to marry. He didn't sacrifice their offspring as the Rephaim did. Circumcised Nimrod became the champion of the smaller cells and their great circumcised hunter. Whoa.
Go figure.
Yeah. And he was freaking eating them.
Yeah.
I mean, earlier in the book,
yeah,
it was saying that he was feeding on the smaller cells.
Yeah, but now he doesn't. Now he doesn't eat the smaller cells, but
I'm thinking this is before.
Yes, yes.
This is
Before.
before what we read earlier.
Yes, yes. It's kind of messed up a little bit there.
Yeah.
But now he doesn't eat them, but he's letting them breed, but he's making them circumcised, and so he's got this whole crowd of smaller selves that are worshiping him pretty much because he was their giant. No, he was their champion. So there you go. And whereas the Raphaim, they would eat them. They were still eating them. Okay, the moon child. My teeth grind and my throat rumbles as I tell Anak the root of my hatred for Nimrod, with hope that the fruit will bear upward. Many years after the unspoken mistake, Baal of the moon's sorceress prophesied that Lessa would be with a Raphaim. Okay, switch the page. Moonchild. Letza was past the years of childbearing and still afflicted by the wounds of Oglis that inherited her birth. So, by this time she's getting really old because they were 300-400 years old by this time, maybe more.
Oh yeah,
And the way he
they
was
must have
talking.
they lived hundreds of years though.
Yeah,
If
exactly.
not thousands.
Yeah, exactly. Well, if we look back, it was saying that they had 300 years somewhere. I'll have to find that. Well, you read the next bit here. Number 53.
I'm trying to see if there's a link or something to this Sumerian text. All right, something that connects this to the Sumerian text of the Anunnaki.
Oh yeah. Well, it could see, this was all probably before because they were talking about the Tower of Babel, remember? Okay, so here the birth of Agalis in this part says, in our 300th year, the panic of childbirth seized my wife, Letza. Okay, so they were 300 years old before she had her first child, or at least they were together for 300 years before they had their first child. Plenty of water. Drink plenty of water. All right.
Plenty of water.
Okay, you're up. Number 53. Go ahead.
Lesta mocked and ridiculed the sorceress to scorn for the prophecy. The priestess warned Lesta not to mock Baal of the moon. After I am worn and waxed old, and my Og is old too, will we have delight? She teased.
How am I, the last of the Raphaim females, bearing a child of the moon? She mocked.
Well, I'm sitting there thinking, she said that up there, and it was like, I was thinking, if these seniors in these rest homes,
Yeah.
they get caught messing around all the time.
Oh, well, I imagine, but just think, there was another story in the Bible where this guy had a wife and she was really old, and then an angel was sent down, wasn't it? I can't remember who it was.
I remember that story.
Yeah.
And she got pregnant.
She was way beyond her years.
Yeah, she's 90 years old or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. So I imagine this is how it was, because he was like, oh, we can't have any more kids. There's no way I can have any more kids. My wife's too old. Oh, the prophecy says you'll have a child. Go ahead. So
might as well have fun.
yeah. But she did. So there you go. Okay.
Can't make no more babies. Might as well have fun.
You're up. Number 57.
In Lesta's anger, she removed herself from the place of worship to her forest, resided there until the end of her days. The sacrifices continued. The sorceress then prophesied, saying, Baal will bring Og's history forth. The moon child of Og will be Baal's legacy, and the unspoken mistake has killed its thousands, and the moon child will restore tens of thousands. Wow.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So apparently none of the giants were having kids, or none of the chosen, maybe we should say they were chosen giants having children. Okay, so number 59, the moon child was Baal of the moon's most fertile gift to the prolong the Rephaim and the Nephilim species. The most fertile gift required heavy sacrifice. For 7 months under the moon, the drums were beaten, which shook the firmament of the land. We slaughtered and sacrificed innumerable small self infants and males in the high places. The undrunk blood rolled through the block stone channels to the lower earth. The burnt offerings of the smaller self infants and males smoldered and darkened the skies. Now, I want to say something to this. Now, back in the day, we know that there were sacrifices to Baal. I think it says it in the Bible or somewhere that they were sacrificed. They did. They used to sacrifice their children. Could this be a tradition that was carried on from way back then?
You know what? I really think that man a lot of times will attribute stuff that they want to do themselves to a God or to the devil. They do it and they say, "Oh, God told me to do it. Oh, it was devil told me to do it."
Yes, but that's the thing, is if the smaller selves, the little humans, would have learned about Baal and knew that if they sacrificed, they watched the giants sacrifice all these little children, the babies. Well, after the giants were gone, who's to say that they wouldn't keep up doing the same sacrificing every time they needed, the seasons to change or the crops were failing? So we're going to sacrifice a bunch of kids to Baal to make things go back to normal. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what the giants did. But eventually you forget about why you're doing it and then you just keep doing it. It's kind of like traditions that we have, like putting up the Christmas tree. Well, you put up a Christmas tree, you don't think about it. Where did it come from? Who started it? You just know that you go to the store and you buy a Christmas tree, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there you go.
Yeah.
So
well, you remember I said something about soul contracts to you one time?
Yeah.
Why would a soul want to come into a body that's just going to be snatched up and eaten?
Yeah. Oh, okay. We got smart people in our chat room. Linda Brooks says Sarah was Sarai until God gave her and Abraham a child. So that's who it was, Sarah and
it was Sarah.
Sarai.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So that's what it was. See, people know. Lucky Smith says Sarah, wife of Abraham and mother of Isaac. Sarah was childless until she was 90 years old. You're right, 90 years old. Good memory. Laura Igma says, yeah, I kind of thought that was first make a woman have 10 kids when she is like 80 to 150 years old, but I guess they lived longer. Yes, the giants live much, much, much longer. Lucky Smith's in the house. Hello, Lucky Smith.
Hello, okay. Lucky.
Okay, so I think you're up for number 62. You're up.
Can you raise it, just roll it up just a little bit?
I cannot roll it up anymore. It is at the bottom of the page.
Okay, I'll try this. 7 months we seared the flesh of the smaller cells for the moon child and sacrifice. We ate the flesh and drank the blood in the sight of Baal of the moon. We never doubted when the 7th moon had passed, Vesta had grown heavy with the moon child. She then went into labor, toiling with the moon child for many days. The sorcerers flayed themselves mightily before Baal of the moon. Many died on the
7th.
Yeah, on the 7th.
7th day. There you go. Can you see that?
7th day, the moon child, the last female Rephaim was born. Wow.
Yeah.
You know,
Letza did not heal and soon turned stiff. I, Og, laid myself out before Ball of the Moon's altar for 2 days, pleading. On the third day, Letza died. With Queen Letza's death, Ball of the Moon's promise had both depleted and blessed the Rafahin. In mourning Letza, I celebrated the birth of the Moonchild. So she died giving birth with another big baby, I suppose. And yeah, so
Whoa.
you know, you got the child that will take over the place of the mother. She wasn't going to have any more children anyway. But you know, but she's dead, and here you got this Moonchild, and this is the savior, basically. This is their savior. And as you know, we all been talking about, is the savior a guy? Is the God a guy, or is God or the savior a girl?
Yep.
Is it a woman? All this time, is it covered up as a woman?
Spot on, brother. I've asked that too.
So there you go. Okay.
You know, is that where the story started?
Yeah. Okay. What time is it? We are going on. Well, let's finish up this page here. Let's get down the second false prophecy, and then we'll stop. The Moonchild is wounded. Okay, and we'll pick up there next time.
Okay, Moonchild is wounded. Where's that?
No. The second false prophecy.
Okay.
There you go. 6.
Okay, I see you. I see it now. There's a lag.
Oh, okay.
Lag between the Zoom app and the
YouTube. 1 minute.
YouTube.
Yeah. So it's right there. Number 68. The second false prophecy. You know, all those prophecies are sometimes false. Oh, geez. I think it's what we make of them. Okay, can you see it now?
Yeah, I can see it. Well,
68. At this
yeah,
time.
just down to that Moonchild's purpose would be.
Yeah.
I'm missing 2 lines on my screen over here.
Okay, I don't know what to do for you there. It's where your book comes in handy. At this time, you see the second false prophecy?
Okay, I got it up. As we've already turned pages and I've lost it.
Oh, it's on page 17. 17.
I got it right here.
You go right ahead.
As I Og mourn the loss of Lista. Yeah, maybe that sounds better. Lista. Nimrod and his military leaders traveled and visited the kingdom of Og to view the Moonchild. Nimrod, the circumcised, then spoke to the giants of Og's kingdom and spoke of the prophecy of Mot. Nimrod requested that the Moonchild be raised in Mot's temple in his Nephilim kingdom. When Nimrod spoke, the darkness of Baal's spirit and truth was in the air. Nimrod told us all the Moonchild's purpose would be to breed in Mot's procreation harvest. I, Og, disagreed, and my military removed Nimrod. His circumcised military leaders from Og's kingdom just kicked them out.
Yes.
Booted them right out.
Yeah, they booted him out. He disagreed. Well, he was in the wrong kingdom, and they didn't like each other. Bred in Mott's. See, and then they had these procreation harvests. See, that's the thing. So they're literally breeding people or the giants to other giants. Oh boy.
Well, also, you know, they said they was using smaller cells to have babies too.
Yeah.
So, you know, giants must be born pretty normal size to us, you know, what we're born.
It could be.
And then they grow to be giants, you know?
Yep. Yeah.
Because
So-
otherwise it would have been killing all these women having giant babies,
They would. Yeah, exactly.
you know? It
Yeah,
would have killed them.
it would.
And I don't see how, well, you know, I don't mean to be, I don't mean to be nasty or anything like that, but I don't see how in the heck that a giant could have any kind of coitus with a smaller cell, unless they were just itty bitty.
Yeah, I do not know. I mean, that's why we don't know so much about these things, because we just don't know. Anyway, let's see here. Okay. This. Okay. For that. And for Big Al, I got things going on. Okay. Anyway, so we're gonna leave off there. Lucky Smith. See, people are so smart in my chat room. I'll tell you, Lucky Smith says the worship of Baal was popular in Egypt from the later New Kingdom in about 1400 BCE to its end in 1075 BCE. So yeah, so they were worshiping Baal, but where did they get that from? Maybe they got that from the giants. Let's see.
Well, they got Baal the sun, Baal the moon. I think they looked at Baal like he was the infinite creator.
Yeah, he was their god. That's right. Okay,
You know.
so I want to do some sharing here. We're going to share a little bit, and this is Al's making up the cards, and I want
Awesome. Yeah, I love it.
There's his
Mattel.
angel cards.
Neat.
And if you guys haven't seen them, you can go pre-purchase them. I know he's working hard on them, so I'll give a big shout out to him. Beautiful cards, everybody. So there you go. Really nice. Lot of work put into these.
Yes, he's done an awesome job too. It's beautiful.
Even I can pronounce Behuel. See, Behuel.
Yeah, I love them, Al. Thank you very much. Thank you. I am so grateful for you.
Okay, so there you go, Big Al. Big shout out to you and the cards. And I think the descriptions in get a hold of Al. Descriptions in below. Crystal Network. We all gotta love the Crystal Network. Thank you, Deborah Sloan. Thank you, Desert Rose, Nina Fetty. Thank you for coming. Lucky Smith, Divine Empress, Loretta Igma, who else? David Castle. I know you're listening. Project Skyfalls, Julie Stowe, Mary. Oh, is it Mary Wins? No, I don't know. I go too fast. Anyway,
Mary.
okay. Well, anyway, thank you, sir, for everybody to come. Don't worry, we will be back next week where we'll continue where we left off. And so what I want you all to do is go over to Isby Speaks and sign up, get him some subscribers over there. He's going to do some shows. I'm going to come on his show tomorrow. We're going to try it, and he's going to do a live show, and we're going to be on there for a little bit. I don't know what we're talking about or what we're going to discuss.
This is going to be interesting.
But it's going to be a first time for him going live on his own channel. So sign up, join us there tomorrow. We'll probably be there early, around probably 6 or 7 Central Time, maybe something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, we'll do it. We're going to do it a little early.
Irons in the fire, brother.
Yeah.
And when you get so many irons, you're reading about a whole bunch of different subjects. All right.
Yeah. Well,
studying a whole bunch of different things. It kind of makes you scatterbrain.
Oh, you pick out something. We'll talk about something. Yeah, Max G in the house. Thank you for coming. Like I said, pick out something good. We'll talk about for a little while. We'll get you set up on a show and bring a bunch of people over there. And once you feel confident, you'll be doing shows all the time.
Hey, bro, I want to invite you on my team.
That's right.
On my YouTube team, on my show.
Oh yeah, yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, and then we can work together on the channel,
Absolutely.
kind
So
of
go
thing.
over to Isby Speaks. It's called Isby Speaks, and sign up there. And we'll see you tomorrow. Got any last words for everybody?
Oh yeah, I love y'all. I'm so grateful that you're here. I'm grateful for each and every one of y'all. Thank you for being in my reality, because I love you all. You're just beautiful souls, every one of you, talented. Oh man, I'm so grateful. Thank you so much. Come to my channel and help me get to that thousand subscribers thing, so I can do some live vids with my phone or tablet or whatever, going down the highway in my RV someday.
Hey, that's right.
Helping
Yeah,
homeless people get off the street with the 1099A.
that's right. That's what you're gonna do. Mary Wins was in the house. Hello, Mary Wins. When Mary wins, we all win. We win. Thanks, Mary. You send me lots of stuff on the messenger, and I appreciate each and every one of it. Things you said. And anyway, thank you, everyone. I appreciate you all too. Remember what I always say: be the frequency you want to receive. I love you all, everybody. Peace.
Prosperity is upon us all together.